As you can imagine, I went through some mental and spiritual turmoil, and despite all the people I had around me, nothing would make up for my mom and dad not being there. I felt completely alone, and despite all the support I had around me, I had so many emotions that I had no clue how to deal with. I had so many questions, most of them directed to God and why He would allow such a horrible thing to happen. Even at that age, I assumed that I was supposed to be the one to bury my parents, but not this early. They would grow extremely old before I had to do that. I'm only a child. I had no clue how to navigate without my parents. They were supposed to be there, weren't they? But in reflection, as I often am, instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Instead I ask, what is this situation teaching me? Even through a tragic situation, I was able to learn so much about people, relationships, the world, and most importantly, myself. Even through the tragic loss of my parents, they were still able to teach me important lessons. Despite all the odds that were against me, I turned my pain into purpose, and I refused to let the situation get the best of me. I knew I had work to do, even if I hadn't figured out what that work was. I refused to become what people said I would become. Oh, and believe me, they had a lot to say and had some awful predictions about how I would turn out. Unfortunately for those people, I'm the type of person who likes to prove naysayers wrong. I could have chosen many other options, but I decided to grow through the tragedy, and I'm so glad that I did. I graduated from USC. I'm coming close to my 24th birthday in a few weeks. I'm planning to get my master's degree in sociology at the start of next year, and I'm going for everything that I deserve and more. Losing my parents was devastating for me, but I chose to take a path that I felt would honor my mother's legacy. You do have choices, no matter what anyone tells you. All you must do is make up in your mind and decide what choice you will make for yourself. It won't always be easy. Some days you'll have to fight and cry through it. I have, and sometimes I still fight. But I believe even through all of that, it will be worth it. Look at me. I never thought I was strong enough to get through that, but I didn't know what power I had. I didn't know what power I had until I was forced to use it. I discovered that I was much stronger than I even knew myself. My strength was only lying dormant before. My advice is to let yourself feel every emotion. It doesn't make you weak. Not letting yourself feel, not letting yourself accept what has happened, you're forfeiting being the best version of yourself. Don't cheat yourself out of that. Stop asking yourself to accommodate pain. You will look up in 10 and 20 years later and find that you haven't healed. You've only existed through it all, and I don't want that for you. I'm not saying it'll happen overnight, but you have to try and give yourself the chance to experience better. Both during and after dealing with domestic violence, you may feel as if you're in a special kind of hell, which I can understand and have felt myself, but you must keep going, because why would you stop in hell? As weird as it may seem, sometimes it's necessary to go through hell to get to heaven. A few friends of mine who dealt with domestic violence in some way also wanted to let you know that when you see even the smallest signs, to get out. It doesn't matter if and how many times the person says it won't happen again. It will. Abuse has never been, and will never be love. Even if you're unsure about what the definition of love is not abuse. I can tell you that. And that goes from mental, emotional abuse as well as physical. A few things I want to leave with you to remember when you're going through tough times. 1, everything can and will change, and you have a say in how it will change. 2, take everything as a learning experience. People don't realize how much a simple change of perspective can help you. 3, although it may not seem like it, there's always something to be thankful for. Train yourself to find the blessing in everything. There's always at least one thing to be thankful for. 4, grow through it. Diamonds need pressure to be made, and flowers need rain to grow. Thank you.